And your laugh is on. What are you waiting for? It's on. And your laugh is on. What are you waiting for? It's on. And your laugh is on. What are you waiting for? What's going on? What's going on? It's your hip hop culture specialist, Gypsy Rain, in the building. And I'd like to say hello to everyone who's tuned in to this very special episode on Rap Day, May 3rd, 2015. We are celebrating Rap Music Day, and that is from the Hip Hop Declaration of Peace, which has 18 principles. And the ninth principle states that May 3rd is Rap Day, Rap Music Day, and it encourages hip hoppers to give back to the community, do a little self-empowerment, and different stuff like that outside of the music and outside of the dancing and the clothes and all the culture that we bring to the table. So I have taken the time out to choose a book, and the book I chose was Bald is Beautiful Too by a very, very dear friend of mine, Monica Beasley Martin, from my hometown, Youngstown, Ohio, also known as Youngstown, to those who are still doing music at home, and I'm really appreciating that new movement. Shouts out to the city of Youngstown, Ohio, my hometown, and I hope that everyone who watches this shares it with a child, or after you listen to this part, give it to someone smaller. Let them hold your phone or sit them in front of the laptop and let them engage with me today, because I'm going to read a very special book by a friend of mine who wanted to teach children about alopecia, which she experienced. And there's also many reasons we experience hair loss. It's what it's about. Different diseases, cancer, the radiation process sometimes brings hair out. So she combines two life stories into one story to share with children so they can understand that these things sometimes happen, and that picking with people is not. This is also a good book for bullying too, because it shows children who, when you don't understand or you fear something, you just start picking on it and laughing, not even trying to figure it out. Same thing goes on today, even as adults. We just don't make the right decisions. And on top of all of that, reading is fundamental. Reading is an important part of our day and our lives. And lately I've noticed that I do not read as much as I used to. I pick up papers and stuff I got to sign, and I'm just reading over them and not really just taking a look at what's being said there. Because if somebody takes the time to type or write something out, then they are got something they want to tell you. And also, secrets are always hidden in books, and they know a lot of people don't read, so they put things in books, and I don't want you to miss your hidden treasure just in case it is found in a book. So I am Gypsy Rain, also known as Candy Rain, your hip hop culture specialist, also a refined wordsmith. Shouts out to my bestie, Classy. She would definitely correct anything that I might say improper or write incorrectly. So that's why I'm so articulate. My friends are also articulate. So let's get started the story really quick here. And again, Monica Beasley Martin wrote this book, and you can find out more information about this book and purchase it specifically directly from her. And one way to contact her is sisterpray@gmail.com. It's sisterpray@yahoo.com, which one I will be sure to post on this show so that we won't give you the wrong information, because I can just call it right up. So I don't have the email by heart, but I will post it on here, and you would email her to get a copy of this book, and proceeds to this book goes to the Foundation of Alopecia. So let us get started here. Without further ado, you can now get the children or a younger person, anyone age, I'd say maybe 2 to 12 would probably enjoy this story. Okay, let me get my cameras together. Let me see. Bald is Beautiful Too by Monica, Beasley Martin. And let's get started. Nia Nefertiti Jones was 8 years old with caramel-colored skin and waist-length dreadlocks. Everywhere Nia went, folks talked about her beautiful hair. Miss Scott, who was more like an auntie
then a neighbor, lived in the lemon-colored house next door. She always greeted Nia, by saying hello in Swahili. When Nia walked by, Miss Scott waved and said, "Jumbo." Nia smiled and answered, "Jumbo, Miss Scott." Miss Scott chuckled. "Child, you are a sight for sore eyes. You and all that pretty, pretty long hair." Okay, I'm gonna stick with Nia because sometimes you can pronounce words different. We're gonna call her Nia. Nia's baby brother, Ode, loved to pretend that his sister's hair was a tent. Nia and Ode would make up stories. Ode would duck under Nia's hair to hide from pretend monster. Nia's hair kept him safe. Mommy and Daddy laughed as they watched him. They loved their children very much. It made them happy to see Nia and Ode play together. Nia played and laughed every day. One horrible morning, she woke up and found one of her locks lying on her pillow. Nia touched her head. Instead of hair, she felt smooth skin. Nia screamed and jumped out of bed. She looked in the mirror and saw a shiny bald spot about the size of a quarter on her head. Mama, Daddy, Ode, and even the dog Soda Pop ran into her room faster than a frog could catch a mosquito. Ode offered his sister his favorite security blanket. Nia's parents wrapped their arms around their daughter. Daddy said, "Baby, everything's going to be all right." Nia wasn't so sure about that. After all, she had a bald spot in the middle of her head. The next day, Nia's parents took her to see a dermatologist. Dr. Jada Brown was one of the best skin doctors in the city. After the doctor examined Nia, she said, "Nia, you have a condition known as alopecia. That's a fancy way of saying you're kind of allergic to your hair. Your body thinks that your hair is something bad, so it's trying to get rid of it. That's why your hair fell out." Nia's eyes filled with tears as she looked at Dr. Brown and said, "Will it grow back?" Dr. Brown replied, "It's hard to say. Sometimes it grows back, but you also might lose more hair. Only time will tell." She patted Nia on the shoulder and smiled. Nia looked into the doctor's sparkling eyes and managed to smile back. You got to think about that. What would you do if your hair came out? Dr. Brown gave Nia a sticker. She mumbled, "Thank you." Then she and her parents went back home. For several months, Mama did an excellent job of hiding that spot. She would pull Nia's hair up into a ponytail. Another time she'd wrap it with a colorful kente printed cloth scarf, or sometimes she would cover the spot with a pretty headband. No one could tell that Nia had a bald spot on her head. One day after school, Nia was walking down the hall. Her long hair was swinging back off her head. Suddenly, several dreads fell, like the flight of autumn leaves from trees just before winter. Several boys playing nearby spotted Nia's hair on the floor, on the ground, and the boy pointed it with his finger and yelled, "She's a bald head. Nia's a bald head. Nia's a bald head." As fast as Nia could, she sprinted home, tears streaming down her chubby cheeks like water flowing from a fountain. "Mama, Mama, Mama," Nia cried as she collapsed in Mama's arms. "I'm an ugly bald head." "My beautiful daughters," Mama said, "bald is beautiful too. It's not your hair that makes you beautiful. Your beauty flows from deep, deep within your soul. Before you were born, Daddy and I searched for the perfect name. We discovered the name Nia means purpose. Right from the moment you were born, I knew that God had big plans for you, a special, special purpose." Nia snuggled closer to Mom and listened as Mama said, "Your middle name, Nefertiti, seems to be perfect, fit for you. You were named after Nefertiti, the African queen." Nia's eyes grew bigger as she listened to her mama's story. "You know, she was bald too." Mama touched the back of Nia's head. "Right about here, she had just one single strand of hair. Many people considered her to have been one of the most beautiful women in the world." Later that evening, Daddy came home from work. He took his clippers and removed the rest of Nia's hair, with the exception of a single lock at the back of her head. The next time somebody had the nerve to call her a bald head, Nia proudly announced, "Yes, I am, and bald is beautiful too. Let me tell you about Queen Nefertiti." And that's the end of the story. Bald is Beautiful Too by Monica Beasley Martin. And certainly that's a beautiful story that you can share with children. I think it correlates to many things like bullying, and also knowing that life isn't perfect. You know what I mean? Sometimes we wish things could be exactly how we want them to be, but sometimes life will surprise us with something like, we didn't expect. So thank you so much for watching again. Slap in your back. You know what it is. Slap in your lap, that is. Bald is beautiful. I'm thinking about all those B words. Like I said, words are important. Hit us up again anytime you like at www.inyolap.com. Watch some of our shows. This is one of the only shows that are suitable for children, and I appreciate you supporting me and celebrating May 3rd, Rap Music Day 2015. Again, if you are a slapper, send your email or add us to your circle on Google+. Send us your email to inyolap@gmail.com. That's inyolap@gmail.com. And also, the information for Monica Beasley Martin's book will be located on this show, right on the tabs. Thank you so much. Much love.